right. Hello, everybody, and thank you guys for joining us for this Workshop Wednesday. My name is Victor Verba, and I'm a systems engineer over here at Verify, and I'm going to be your host for today's workshop. Today, we are joined by my good friend, Mr. Phil Corbin, our very own Director of Marketing. And for today's webinar, we're going to be talking a little bit about what's coming out in Verify Early Field Trial 13.0. Then Phil's going to take us through how to use Planet Verify to sign up for the EFT 13.0, receive updates, post your experiences, and connect with our Verify staff as well as some of your peers. We're going to go ahead and kick things off with a little overview of our company and what we do. We'll talk a little bit about new features expected in 13.0, and then Phil's going to walk us through using Planet Verify to register for 13.0 EFT. We'll pause for some Q&A and get some of your questions answered. During the demo, if you guys have any questions, make sure you ask them in the QA panel in the bottom right-hand corner. Then after Q&A, we'll reward one lucky attendee a $50 Amazon gift card. So make sure you hang around to see if maybe you have won. Just a quick overview of Verify. Verify is the preferred analytics and management solution for Cisco collaboration. We provide industry-leading CDR, UCCX, Cube Analytics, customizable dashboards, widgets, remote phone control, and change management. But today, we're going to be focusing in on how you can take part in our upcoming EFT 13.0 release. If you guys have any questions on any of the other features, please feel free to chat me up in the bottom right-hand QA panel. One more thing before we kick things off. For any of you guys looking for more of maybe a hands-off experience, Verify does offer a managed consulting services. This is a service that provides you a dedicated systems engineer to do all the heavy lifting, giving you and your users a completely hands-off experience. We're basically an extension of your organization. We'll take care of upgrades, one-on-one training, reports, dashboard building. Basically, your dedicated Verify systems engineer has you covered with anything that you're looking to pull out of Verify. Your SE is engaged with your team on a one-on-one basis to provide additional consulting, unassisted reporting, dashboard configuration, and system monitoring assistance. So really the only thing that you would have to do is just give us a call if you need something built. If you want any additional information about our ECS program, feel free to reach out to your account manager, and we'd be happy to see if Enhanced Consulting Services is right for you. So with all that said, and before I kick it over to my good friend Phil, let's talk a little bit about some of the features that you're going to see available in EFT 13. So one of the first things we're going to do is you'll notice through our webinar, our workshop series here, we've got a March is filled with EFT release. We're getting ready to roll out EFT in April. So we want to make sure that everybody has a good understanding of some of the new features that are going to be coming out so you guys can take advantage of those in an early field trial. First thing, Wednesday, March 9th, we're going to go ahead and hit some of our less major features, but still important. We're going to be talking a little bit about report queuing. Report queuing is basically the ability for Verify to queue up reports, and that's going to help with system efficiency. We have a lot of customers that may have 10, 20, 30, hundreds of reports that are running. So rather than running all those reports all at once, which is a lot of times we'll see they won't be staggered, we're going to go ahead and allow those reports to queue up. So you can set some queuing thresholds on there, so maybe 10 reports can run, and that's just going to help with overall efficiency, but also help with the report generation when you're doing things like history searches if you also have large reports running in the background. We're also going to go ahead and talk a little bit about configuration of maximum number of widgets per dashboard. We see a lot of customers out there and end users, general end users that may create some dashboards and they're just adding widgets, and we find that a lot of widgets end up on the bottom and they don't really look at them anymore. So we're going to allow you to go ahead and configure some maximum amount of widgets per dashboard. Again, that's more of an efficiency change, something that is configurable within the system, but just to allow your system to run a little bit more efficiently. Last but not least, and again, there's going to be more content in here, is some ability to alert on report failures. One of the things we see is sometimes people will create reports, maybe they're running monthly. and maybe it's just too large for your email server to have, so the report will fail to send. Or maybe there's some configuration in the reports that do not work. So what we're going to allow you to do is configure some alerts. So when something like that happens or a report doesn't go out for one reason or another, somebody's going to be alerted that that report did not run, giving you the ability to go ahead and take a look at, see, maybe it's a configuration issue, maybe it's just something to do with the SMTP server. But the idea here is to be able to alert on those to let you know that there's something going on within the system. Next one we're going to do is Wednesday, March 15th, and that's going to be something a little bit more towards our Cube customers. So if you're familiar with our Cube Analytics, we've had a lot of great feedback on it, and one of the things that we wanted to go ahead and advance was some of that reporting ability. So right now when you're running Cube reports, we're going to go ahead and automatically group all of the Cube events together for you. So as a call comes in, as a call goes out. So on March 16th, we're going to cover a little bit on some changes on that to give you the ability to not only track those events like you see them now, grouped together in multiple events for one calling sequence, but also the ability to break out individual events. In other words, give me a total amount of calls that may have gone to this dial peer, but then also went out of this dial peer. So there's going to be adding a lot of flexibility there with how you report those summary events as well as how you see those detail events specifically. Next thing we're going to talk about is another pretty large change here, and that's going to be Wednesday, March 23rd. So one of the things that we are adding is the ability to automatically archive databases. So we get a lot of requests for customers that say, hey, I want to store 7 years worth of data, or for compliance reasons, I need to store 10 years worth of data, or even maybe 3 years worth of data. Well, rather than having to worry about one giant database out there that's got 7 years worth of data in it, we're going to allow the system to do some auto archiving. What that's going to do is really create some efficiency for you guys, where it's rather than querying this large database that has, you know, several years worth of data, we're going to allow you to break that down into a hot and cold storage model. Hot data being something that's a little bit more readily available. It's running. That's what you're querying with regularity. That database engine is built for, you know, several months worth of data that you want to query with regularity. Maybe it's previous month, previous 3 months, while additional data goes into maybe a cold storage methodology, where it's there. It's going to be transparent to the end users. They're not going to know whether they're querying hot data or cold data or a combination of the both. But what that's going to allow you to do is kind of store some of that data off onto a cold storage server, giving you more responsive reports for your live or your hot data. And then if you're querying something from maybe 7 years ago, perhaps it'll take a little bit longer. Perhaps it'll span multiple databases, you know, depending on the time frame you're running. But it's a big change for us. We look forward to it helping out a lot of our customers that have those larger data retention periods. And then last but not least, March 30th, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about UCCX audible alerts. This is something that we've had a lot of customers request, and that's the ability to have some type of audible alert when a certain threshold gets met on a queue, or you know, a certain amount of calls are in the queue. So rather than our current threshold where the dashboards and widgets can change color, also giving end users the ability to go ahead and set up some audible alerts. So besides just changing color, it can make a chime if you reach a certain threshold. So those are just a kind of a sample of some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about in EFT 13 that, you know, we're looking forward to getting out. So with all that said, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about how we sign up for EFT 13 so you can take advantage of some of these features, work with us, help us out. And for that, I'm going to go ahead and kick the ball over to my good friend, Mr. Phil Corbin here. And Phil, how's it going today?
Going great, Vic. Thanks for having me, man. It's been a while.
Absolutely. So let me go ahead and pass you the ball here if you want to share out your screen and take us through how we can go ahead and sign up for EFT.
Absolutely. All right. Are you able to see my screen?
I see it.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody, for having me here. We're excited to announce the Verify 13.0 EFT program. Changing it up a bit. In the past, we've done the EFT through email and WebExes. What we're doing this time around and going forward is we're going to bring it into our community, Planet Verify, and it's specifically designed for sharing EFT updates with with all of our testers, you, our community, and also providing you guys with an accessible platform to share any feedback directly with us here at Verify. So when you join the EFT program, you become part of the Verify testing community, the Verify family, and you're really honestly helping us drive the future of our product collaboration analytics right alongside us. So you get access to the latest features, you get to share feedback on what you love, what you might think needs a little bit of work. So what I'm going to do here today, and if some of you on the workshop haven't been to Planet Verify, just here on our homepage, what you're going to need to access the EFT within Planet Verify is an account on verify.com. What you can do is if you don't have an account on verify.com, you can sign up. And we'll sign up to register your account. And you're going to need an account number. So your colleague might have your account number, or you can reach out to your AM and we can provide you that. And you'd sign up for an account, set a password, it uses your email, and that will get you in to Planet Verify. So again, if you do not have your account number, you do not have an account at Planet Verify or verify.com, please reach out to your account manager. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and click on this kind of alert banner here we just put up today, kind of showing off the new EFT program. I'm going to click request access, and what that's going to do is take me to Planet, and the EFT group within Planet is kind of locked down to those users who want to be part of the EFT. So I'm going to log in here. And if you're already logged into Planet, if you're already logged into Planet, you'll see a nice kind of marketing banner here that's kind of showing that EFT is now registration is open, and you're able to click on this, and this will take you into the group as well. If you were to click and have been logged out, you'll log in and it'll take you to our Verify 13.0 EFT group within Planet Verify. Once you're logged in, you are not yet part of the group. You need to request access. So what you do is you come here to the group page, and on the upper right here, if you're following along, you just click request access, and that's going to shoot an email to myself, to Vic, to Dan, and everybody else who's helping organize this EFT program. It might take a minute here, but there'll be some feedback, and there you go. And it'll say request sent. So Vic on the other side here can accept me.
Let me get in there, get you approved here, sir.
Awesome. Once I'm accepted, you'll see this change to that I am now a member of this group.
There you go, sir.
All right, so I'll refresh my screen, and we'll try to be as quick as possible with this. We get pinged via email, so we'll come in and hopefully approve you as soon as possible. There it is. I'm a member, and I am subscribed. So this is the big thing here, subscribe. Subscribe means I'm going to receive emails from Verify when there are updates to the EFT program. Right now, we're kind of in the registration and introduction phase. There's only one thread or discussion within the EFT. As we start to roll this out, we're going to go through the features and overview, how to upgrade, how to configure 13.0, then getting into testing the features and sharing the feedback. New threads will appear here with instructions on what to do and how to provide your feedback. That's why it's so important that this says you'll be subscribed. You should be auto-subscribed to receive emails. If for some reason this button still says subscribe here after you've been approved, just click subscribe, and that should be, everything should be taken care of. So this is kind of key here to get those updates via email. So once you're in here, you'll be able to see all the other members, all the organizers. You'll be able to read through the discussions. Right, here's our intro, right, and kind of our kind of overview of why we're doing this, why it's in Planet, and kind of the rollout timeline of the entire EFT process, all the way from registration, introduction, features, and overviews of what Vic had just covered. all the great new features we're launching with 13.0. Then we're going to upgrade you. We're going to get you early access to 13.0 so you can help us test, share feedback, show what you lack, what might need a little bit of an improvement. And then we'll take all of that, make the fixes that we need, and we're going to conclude the EFT until next time. And that will be run again on Planet Verify. So that's kind of the high level overview. Vic, am I missing something here? Did I leave anything out?
No, I think you got it, man. I think you got it. I think
Okay.
excellent job, sir. Excellent job, sir. And this is again, a great way for us to be able to communicate, for you guys to be able to communicate with the Verify staff over here. How you guys are experiencing the EFT program, make any suggestions, reporting suggestions and things like that. So.
Yeah. Something actually I'd like to mention too. Once you are a member of the EFT programming group within Planet, those updates will show in your activity feed on the homepage. If you're not a member, you're not going to see the updates in your activity feed since it is locked down. So you can see now that I'm a member, I'm starting to get these embedded in my feed. So, and again, this month the theme really is EFT, new features in 13.0, giving a sneak peek to all of that. And hopefully getting enough people, right? We always have a lot of users wanting to help us and test, and hopefully, this new process and this new platform, I believe will work out great. So with that, I'm going to kind of open it up to any questions we have, Victor, that might have come through the Q&A.
Excellent. So I'm not seeing any questions come in yet at this point, Phil. So excellent job. And if you guys have not had an opportunity to go into planetverify.com, it's a great user community for everybody to be able to go ahead and join, bounce questions off. We get a lot of questions and a lot of good introductions to different types of dashboards and different types of reports that people are running, as well as being again able to sign up for the EFT release. So with that being said, if there are any questions, please make sure you ask them in the QA panel in the bottom right. So with that, Phil, I'm going to go ahead and steal the ball back from you here. Go ahead and share my screen out here.
Actually, we did have a few questions coming in.
Did you have something coming in? Let's take a look here.
Do you have a date timeline for the stable V13 release?
We do. All right. Thank you. So yeah, absolutely. So as far as the date time, we are expecting from a stability perspective, we normally go into EFT. Depending on how EFT goes, it will go into EFT for anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks. We do have some pretty large changes in here, so we can kind of do some estimates based off of that. If we end up releasing in April, so we're expect June-ish time frame for a full stable release would be the expectation.
Okay. We also have a question from Brad. Does database archiving, is this both for CDR and UCCX data?
Excellent question. So currently at the moment, UCCX data is gathered from the UCCX Live. So database archiving would not impact the UCCX data. Of course, if we decide to move forward with kind of housing some of that data within the verified databases themselves, then we would bring archiving into that methodology as well. So good question. Excellent question.
And also Cube, is it included with Cube as well?
Correct. Yeah. So we will be looking at Cube data as well from an archiving perspective.
Great. Another question from Jim. When does sign up start? Sign up begins now, today. Please.
I just approved a couple people, Phil. So we had a couple people. We had a couple of people sign up for it already. Awesome. So thank you guys for being out there and taking part in our EFT. So we did just approve a couple people in there.
That's great.
Any other questions for us? All right. Excellent. Thank you guys for joining us today. And the winner of our $50 Amazon gift card is Jamone Mason. Jamone Mason, congratulations for winning the $50 Amazon gift card. We'll go ahead and have your account manager reach out to you and provide you that gift card. And then, of course, last but not least, what we just kind of talked about is make sure you join Planet Verify, https planet.verify.com or verify.com/planet. And then you could also get directly to verify.com/EFT to go ahead and jump right into the Planet Verify EFT room. So again, appreciate everybody for joining today. Last but not least, if we have any questions, please hit us up in the QA panel or feel free to email us afterwards. We're more than happy to jump on the line with you. Congratulations, Jamone Mason, for winning the $50 Amazon gift card, and make sure you register throughout the month of March because we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. We're going to take a much deeper dive into some of these EFT applications, from the audible alerts, archiving of databases, the report alerts, and a lot of other features coming out in the EFT release. So make sure that you go ahead and sign up for those. So with that, I appreciate everybody's time today. Thank you, Phil. Awesome job, and we'll hope to see everybody next week.
Thank you all.
Bye.